dividing line between East and West. I'm William Woodcroft. Welcome to the program. Russia has carried out multiple airstrikes on a military training ground in western Ukraine, killing at least 35 people and injuring dozens more. The U.S. has warned that any spillover into neighboring Poland will trigger a NATO response. Meanwhile, heavy fighting continues on multiple fronts. Authorities in Kyiv say they are stockpiling food as Russian forces try to surround the city.
In the face of a ground invasion, Kyiv plays the national anthem as a reminder to its people of what they are fighting for. President Zelensky's senior advisors tweeted a video of themselves strolling through the streets of the capital, remarking that it's a shame to see the city so empty, but that they did find coffee. Keep calm and carry on. That's the message that Zelensky is sending to his people.
We still need to hold on. We still have to fight. Every day and every night we must look for ways to cause maximum damage to the enemy. With tactics and self-confidence, we will regain what's ours.
It's a powerful message of defiance, even as Russian forces appear to be spreading their attacks out across the country. They carried out multiple airstrikes on a military training ground near Lviv in western Ukraine, expanding Moscow's war closer to the border with Poland. Authorities are now more desperate than ever for NATO to impose a no-fly zone.
That is why we keep asking NATO to close the sky, because to fight with an enemy who does not even enter Ukraine, but instead launches a cruise missile, it is necessary to have a serious air defense system.
Civilians from all over Ukraine had fled to Lviv in relative safety. But many are now heading further west as frequent air raid sirens warn of potential bomb threats. Thousands have ended up here in the city of Chernivtsi, close to the Romanian border. Many are injured and exhausted, and fearful for their safety. But they don't want to leave their country.
How we can go with our land? We want living in our land. We want be happy. We want peace. We don't want war.
Chernivtsi is one of the few cities that remains unscathed from Russian air raids. But as Russia's war expands across Ukraine, it may not be a refuge for much longer.
A U.S. journalist has been killed while reporting near Kyiv. Brent Renault was traveling to film refugees fleeing the town of Irpin when his vehicle came under fire. Another journalist was wounded in the attack, which Ukraine blames on Russian forces.
This footage shows the moments after two journalists were shot in Irpin. Juan Arredondo was wounded and brought to a hospital where he recounted what had happened.
We crossed the first bridge in Irpin. We're going to film other refugees leaving, and we got into a car. Somebody offered to take us to the other bridge, and we crossed a checkpoint, and they started shooting at us. So the driver turned around, and they kept shooting. It's two of us. My friend is Brent Renault, and he's been shot and left behind.
Arredondo didn't yet know that Renault, a 50-year-old, award-winning documentary filmmaker, had died at the scene. Ukrainian officials blamed Russian forces for the shooting. Several media crews have come under fire since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Renault is the first foreign journalist to be killed. Irpin, a suburb about 20 kilometers outside Kyiv, has been under heavy bombardment as Russian armored vehicles advance towards Ukraine's capital. Thousands of people are fleeing in dangerous conditions. Some evacuees have come under fire, but staying is also terrifying.
It is war. just war. Our building was hit with a missile and 2 apartments next to ours were just smashed. We've got cases of looting. It's just horrible. Very, very horrible. Something went through the air and then boom. All the windows were broken and the balcony fell down. And the 10th floor above us was just dust. My daughter came and said, "Mama, take your stuff." Until this, I didn't want to leave my town.
The refugees hope to find relative safely away from their hometown, rendered uninhabitable by the fighting.
TWO correspondent Matthias Berlinger is in